Good afternoon, my students. This is me, Dr. Hani Alhasani. I'm trying today to discuss something about a novel or novella which is called Animal Farm by George Orwell. So this is the first video that I need to discuss something about the book analysis here. And let's start with the chapter 1. In chapter 1 here, the context of Orwell. For sure, like the text is already with you, but we will read something from that analysis. Here, the animals of Manor Farm live a hard life under the cruel and brutish farmer Mr. Jones. So, the first character that we recognize at this novella, the character which is real character, not animal, called Mr. Jones. And Mr. Jones here represented the capitalism or capitalist person. Capitalist as the context based on the Cold War between capitalism and communism. So Mr. Jones represented the capitalism. One night after Mr. Jones has gone to bed, all the animals gather in the pond to listen to a special announcement from Old Major, a large, old and wise poet who has had a dream that he would like to share. Old Major begins by first describing his hopes for the future. He explains the animals that their miserable existence is caused by man. Humans, he says, exploit them and benefit enormously from their hard work while doing nothing in return. He believes that the animals would be happier, would be happier and wealthier if they rebelled against the humans. So the first word he used is about rebellion. Being rebellious here to discuss the point. Describe his dream in it. He heard the word of song from the childhood that he thought he would forgotten. The song is called Beast of England. He sings it to the animals and they sing it back, becoming more and more impassioned with every repetition. Eventually they sing so loudly that Mr. Jones wakes up. He fires his gun at the pond and the animals go back to bed. Old Major dies 3 days ago or 3 days later after his speech. For the next 3 months, the animal led by the pigs begin planning the rebellion against Mr. Jones and the human. Amongst pigs are the most intelligent animals on the farm. 3 predominate: Napoleon, Snowball and Squealer. So we have three pigs and Khanazir. The pigs develop Old Major's ideas into an ideology called animalism, and that's how they started. The rebellion comes quite unexpectedly. One day after Mr. Jones returns to the farm, drunk and forgets to feed the animals, some of the cows break into the house looking for food. When Mr. Jones and his men realize what is happening, they begin whipping animals who turn on their masters and attack them, forcing them to flee the farm. The animals there over the farm, amazed at their success, the pigs reveal that they have learned to read and write and that they have big plans. They change the name of the farm to Animal Farm and then write the 7 principles of animalism in the wall. So here everyone can realize the 7 principles. The first few months after rebellion go very well. The animals harvest the hay 2 days faster than it had taken Mr. Jones and the other animals, and it is the biggest harvest there has ever been. All the animals work except the pigs, who direct and delegate. Boxer works harder than ever. The pigs create a new flag from the farm, organize weekly meeting at which resolution and proposed debate Napoleon and Snowball always disagree. The pigs teach the other animal to read. Eventually, most of them become at least partially literate. And this is the point: literate, educational person. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. He also creates numerous committees, none of which are success. Napoleon meanwhile adopts the 9 new puppies and keeps them hidden. So puppies, it's dogs. The animals discover that the pigs have been taking the milk and the new apples for themselves. When they try to complain, Squealer convinces them that the milk and the peel are necessary for the big brain, and that without the pig's intelligence, Mr. Jones might come back. Upon hearing this, animals agree that the pigs are right. The news of rebellion or the rebellion of Animal Farm spread the neighboring farms, the two farms that are located on either side. Animal Farm named Foxwood and Pinchfield do not get along well. The two owners of the farm, keen to exploit Mr. Jones' demise, but also afraid that their own animals will rebel. As the news of Animal Farm spread, the appeal of animalism grows. Animals throughout the country or the county begin committing small acts of rebellion. Peace of England becomes increasingly popular. The humans try unsuccessfully to suppress the storm. In October, Mr. Jones and a group of farmers from Foxwood and Pinchfield try to take back the Animal Farm. Snowball has prepared thoroughly for such an event, and under his command, the animals successfully repelled the invaders. Although sheep is killed in the battle, the day of the battle becomes celebrated even along with the anniversary of rebellion. Molly works listless and eventually away. She is rumored to be in nearby farm where she wears ribbon and is fed sugar. The other animals never speak to her again. It is decided that the pigs will rule on the question of farm policy, but that their decisions will be put to a vote. Napoleon and Snowball continue to have bitter disputes, most notably about the windmill. windmill يعني اللي هي الطاحونة. Snowball designs plan for windmill, arguing that although costly, it will be the long term be great benefit. Napoleon is firmly against it. Just as the animals look set to vote in favor, Napoleon suddenly unleashes his 9 dogs on Snowball. Snowball escapes just in time and is chased off the farm. The animal realizes that the dogs are the same that Napoleon had adopted as puppies and reared in a secret. Now huge and aggressive, they obey Napoleon in the same way as the other dogs used to obey Mr. Jones. Napoleon assumes total control of the farm and announces that the morning meeting will end. When some of the pigs try to protest, the dogs growl angrily, and the pigs keeps quiet. Squeals tell the animals that Snowball was a criminal whose role in Battle of the Cowshed is exaggerated. Boxer is at first skeptical, but eventually believes that Queer adopts a second motto: Napoleon is always right. So I will upload you that video later on. You have to read all the analysis here. You will get benefit from this analysis. You will find a lot of issues about the analysis. I wish you a happy day and blessed day ahead, and we'll discuss another topic later on. Thank you very much for listening.